What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris with a third and final game between Team Liquid on the Radiant, VP on the Dire. You see some kind of weird bans, TA as well as Lifestealer being banned out by VP, and surprisingly enough, well, Keeper and Nyx both still in the pool. We'll see if Liquid want to pick that up right now, but before that, this is the final game to decide who is going to be going home. Whoever loses this game, that's it for them. They get, I believe,
10 seconds
third
remaining.
place? Yeah, they get third place. Whoever wins this goes up to the grand finals to face against Alliance, and then that'll be a best of 5 grand finals. So we're nearing the end of this tournament. I know I'm a little bit late, but hey, what can you honestly expect? I'm not the official caster, so I don't have any reason to keep up with these things except for my own pride and enjoyment. So yeah, we're going to see who's going to be able to take this home. Nyx Assassin, Clockwork, and it's actually going to be a Chen pick from Team Liquid. That is going to mean that VP do have another opportunity to pick up the Keeper of the Light. Would help against the Chen pushing and really any pushing that comes out from Liquid from here on out. And I think it's pretty effective to pick up just because they already do have the Bane, so they already will have a Nightmare set up for an Illuminate. It's very probable that once you lay down the Nightmare, you're going to be able to follow up with that Illuminate. And then on top of that, they already have an Nature's Prophet, so picking the Keeper of the Light would essentially be a ban out of the Keeper of the Light, so that they themselves don't have to deal with it in case Team Liquid want to do something weird, like lane the Nyx Assassin in the mid lane, put Korok on that hero, and really just have another support hero with Keeper as well as Chen. Have a super defensive tri lane, which may or may not be pressured by VP, but you could bet that right now that's exactly what they're thinking about. Should we pick up this Keeper, or will we want to waste a ban on the Keeper? Is it even worth banning out the Keeper? Are we okay with having the other guys have this Keeper of the Light hero? We'll see. We'll definitely just have to see. But TA as well as the Lifestealer being banned out, kind of odd choices, I would say, from VP. I mean, VP just as a team is a team that does ban out specifically tailored to the enemy team as opposed to in the context of the entire game of general, whereas Liquid, banning out the Wisp as well as the Batrider, those are two extremely strong heroes that VP can use, but you would see these bans pretty much all the time from, the Radiant side. The Dire side, you would never really see these kinds of bans. Lifestealer, maybe. TC does run a mean Lifestealer. TA, rarely ever, really. So yeah, they're really going to try to shut down Liquid. That is going to mean, however, that they let through the Clockwork as well as the Chen, which Bulba and Fluff do play very, very well. So we'll see if it ends up biting VP in the backside, having banned out that TA, which I don't know if Liquid would have picked up in the first place. It's going to be an Undying for VP, so it looks like they are okay with letting the Keeper of the Light get through this pool. The Bane as well as Undying most likely going to go together to form a fairly aggressive tri-lane. They of course do need their carry here, which is why we're probably going to see the likes of Gyrocopter, Luna, Gyrocopter, Luna, those types of heroes being banned out from Team Liquid, although Team Liquid themselves do need a carry as well. They're definitely going to run that carry in the safe lane with Nyx Assassin support, so they're going to have to be careful because VP's aggressive tri-lane potential, I feel, is a lot higher than Team Liquid's defensive tri-lane potential. So they're really going to have to play extremely well, especially, on top of that, VP will have the Nature's Prophet who could teleport in, make it 4v3 instead of a 3v3. So Liquid, they're going to have to play a little bit defensive in the early stage of the game. They're going to start off by banning the Gyrocopter, kind of as expected, and then following up with the Mag. And then VP going to focus many of their bans onto Korok, Queen of Pain, as well as that Puck being banned out. Really, 3 of VP's bans so far have been targeted towards Korok. Now Liquid, what they can do is run the Nyx Assassin in the mid lane. They still don't know who the mid lane is going to be for VP, but the pool is getting a little bit thinner. So yeah, mid lane heroes, you really don't have too much flexibility in the mid lane, whereas if you have a whole bunch of support heroes banned out, you could always find someone that will be useful. Mid lane, it's kind of not the same. And Liquid, very smart ban with that Alchemist. VP have run that Alliance, have run that Bane, Alchemist, one other hero, tri-lane. Nightmare set up for that Unstable Concoction is most of the time going to result in a kill for your team, especially if the target is going to be soft. And Team Liquid, with a very Liquid-esque pick, going to go for the Luna. So their pushing is starting to shape up just a little bit, but I really don't think that they can make much happen against this VP tri-lane, especially if they pick up something like a Phantom Lancer. I feel would be probably the best choice for them, mostly because Phantom Lancer is Phantom Lancer, but also he's a carry here that does have a little bit of aggression associated with him. They're actually going to go for the Warlock. So they do, as I said before, they kind of are limited in their mid lane picks, and well, there you go, mid lane hero Warlock for you. We'll still not know what he's going up against, but Warlock isn't the strongest mid lane hero. You typically can outlane him, though the heroes in the pool that can outlane Warlock, Queen of Pain, Puck, the Mag, not the Mag, the Batrider, are obviously not in the pool right now. So Team Liquid's still going to look for someone for Korok to run. They do have a minute to think about that. But Liquid's Tri-Lane, even though it can push once the Chen gets a couple of creeps, it's most likely just going to be incredibly defensive. They're going to be okay, Liquid side, in order to drag this one out into the late game, because, well, VP have yet to pick up their carry. I still do think it's going to be a Phantom Lancer. And Liquid, they would probably like to have someone who could apply a little bit of pressure on the map as their mid-hero, and also not lose the game outright to the Warlock. Again, the pool of heroes is relatively thin. I think they're going to be forced to go into something weird. They could go for a Brewmaster. That's not too weird. That would probably be yeah, that would be a really good choice, actually. Just go for the Brewmaster. He would be able to tank up any of the Warlock stuff, and hell, even if you get hit by that rock, if you could split out, then it's not going to matter all too much. I don't know if you could send the Infernal into the air. I feel like you should be able to, although I have never really tested it. That would be a great counter to it. I mean, you could go for a Diffusal Blade, but I don't think Luna's going to go for that. I don't think anyone in Liquid's going to go for that. Nick Assassin, if he gets really rich, might want to go for that, but yeah, it's probably not going to happen. Brewmaster's probably the best bet, I feel, for Team Liquid. Just to get a really strong mid lane hero in the Brewmaster. It can be very hard to kill, at least until Bane gets his Fiend's Grip. And then if you just prevent VP from getting those kills, that means Luna is going to have a lot of farm, and it's actually going to be Beastmaster, so there's going to be a different BM on the Liquid side, probably going to head towards the mid lane. Again, this hero will shape up their pushing by a lot, and VP actually going to run the Weaver as the hard carry. So Weaver going to be very, very slippery. Team Liquid, though, do have a lot of stuns to deal with this Weaver, whereas VP, their stunning pool is quite light. They only do have 2 stuns in their entire pool, and I mean, Fiend's Grip and the Chaotic Offering, those are the only real guaranteed stuns that I'm going to count. I guess Nightmare kind of does count. So Liquid, they're not really going to be faced up against too much CC, whereas they themselves, well, Ix Mike, of course, is the Nyx, has the Impale. Bulba has Clockwork, which is CC galore. Korok has that Roar, and of course Chen will have, ideally, some Centaurs or a Troll or something. So Weaver is going to have to be a little bit careful. He still will be a very, very early game aggressive early game hero, like levels 1 through 3. TC's probably not going to get anything, because a Nightmare into a Undying Decay into Shikuchi, that's not much CC, yes, but it'll put out a lot of damage. So Liquid are going to have to watch themselves on that lane. But yeah, Liquid with the Beastmaster pick, going to shore up a little bit more of their pushing. So they might actually look to get a little bit aggressive with this Luna. Use the Lunar Blessing to really help out the push. Get a couple of points in the Inner Beast. And Inner Beast is something that the Warlock in the mid lane definitely won't be able to handle, or most likely won't be able to handle. The Warlock doesn't have any AoE. And although his attack animation and damage is pretty good, the Beastmaster's is just better. So getting a couple points in Inner Beast will constantly force the Warlock into the tower. That means the Beastmaster will have more time to roam around, get a little bit of rune control, and should have the edge there. He also does have a pretty hefty HP pool and armor, so he should be able to survive any harassment that the enemy Warlock does throw his way. However, the Warlock, if he is super aggressive, if he does get Shadow Word, slaps on himself, maybe bonds up the Beastmaster, then Beastmaster's going to take a lot of damage as well, so he's going to have to be really, really reliant on that bottle. Let's go over who's going to play what first of all. No real surprises on the Liquid side. We have Bulba on the Clockwork, Fluff playing that Chen, Ix Mike 88, going to be on the Nyx Assassin. Korok is going to be playing the Beastmaster, and TC is going to be hard carrying the Luna. On the VP side, we have NS, Iceblood on the Undying. Illidan going to be hard carrying the Weaver, Crazy on the Warlock, Arzart on the Bane, and KSI on his signature, Nature's Prophet. He looks like he's geared up for a lane. He's probably going to head up towards the top lane and leave the tri-lane of NS, Illidan, and Arzart down on this bottom lane, and both teams going to run into each other. Not too sure who has the better first level 1. I gotta say it's got to be VP. They have the Undying. Level 1 is an absurd hero. and it looks like everyone is going to spot everyone else. This camp is definitely going to be blocked off one way or another, but Liquid, yeah, they know that the only real useful spell that they have in the level 1 is that Impale, and really Impale level 1, stun duration 1.27. By the time they jump up and actually land down from the spikes, they're pretty much free to go already. The stun doesn't last long at all. So Liquid, it looks like they're going to move around just a little bit. They might run into the VP heroes again. IX Mike gonna spot them out. IX Mike, DK gonna fly, not gonna hit onto anything, and yeah, Ward's being put down so that Fluff doesn't have his jungle. He knows actually that VP are aiming to run this tri-lane against him, so they're actually gonna put Chen in the other jungle. So always a little bit of a risky move, but Bulba should be able to survive with the cogs. Any dives should be prevented, but oh, VP, oh, they know what Liquid know. And I think Liquid know that VP knows that they know. They're going to do a little bit of a lane swap themselves. They already did have Illidan still on this bottom lane. 2 supports actually going to move up here and possibly help KSI. Now, KSI as a hero is not the type of hero that could actually participate a whole lot in the aggressive tri-lanes. He does have a little bit of right click, but that's pretty much it. So Arzart and NS going to be trying to control TC just by themselves. Those 2 heroes probably won't be able to make it happen, although I think they might also just be hunting for Fluff, who is going to find himself a Hellbear. So fantastic level 1 pickup for him to find TC. Make sure he's got to make sure to not take too much damage. There's the Impale onto Arzart. Will hold him out from the Nightmare. Decay will land on 2, but it's not really going to bother them that much. So Fluff and stuff going to be very, very careful in the enemy jungle. A single slip up and he's going to have 2 heroes right on top of him. Will be difficult to bring him down with that Hellbear backing him up, but still should be a little bit risky. And Korok in the mid lane, checking out in this lane, it is going to be the Beastmaster Warlock matchup. Beastmaster already does have enough money for his bottle. Will have that walking out to him shortly. Bottom lane, it's going to be Bulba versus Illidan. So hard lane Weaver, kind of well, that's where you usually see Weaver nowadays, but still very weird to see Illidan, I'm sorry, on that hero, and especially with the lineup they have right now. Bulba should be able to get a little bit of farm. He might be able to go a little bit aggressive as well with the cogs, but most likely... Oh, KSI sniping that courier. Shame onto Korok, who got the courier killed. That's really going to slow him down. That's actually really, really crippling to him. Because Crazy should have his bottle relatively soon. He does have enough gold for it. But Korok will have to now be forced to try to rely on rune control, and it's definitely not going to happen on the top lane. KSI is scouting that out, although it might, because Fluff and stuff are going to chase him away with the Hellbear. Top lane, gotta watch out for this aggression, although I don't think aggression can happen from either side. Korok going to throw the axes, and really, he's got to move back or something. He's taking a little bit too much damage there, man. You can see he's getting a couple points in the inner beast, so he really wants to keep this lane pushed out. And most of the time, the lane is going to be right here, just because of that additional attack speed aura. Fluff and stuff, still jungling it up, gonna have to deal with KSI. So it looks like VP actually gonna have Bane as well as NS on this top lane. I guess the primary objective is to shut down TC, but oddly enough, there's no Enfeeble being picked up from Bane. I feel like in a dual lane with a Bane, as rare as it might be, your best bet is to not get farm for yourself, but really just prevent farm going onto the enemy side. And what better tool is there than the Enfeeble onto the Luna? We'll shut her down, we'll bring her down to like 30, what does she have, 60, 70 damage, 40 damage a pop. That's difficult to last hit with, that's incredibly difficult. Korok now gonna drop, this is gonna be the first blood actually. Crazy with a haste rune, going super aggressive onto Korok, who, because the courier died, wasn't able to actually get enough bottle charges. He was sticking around at very low amounts of HP. I thought that he would go back because that would kind of be the smart thing to do and not sit there at no HP, but it is going to be VP drawing first blood, and the Warlock is definitely not the hero that I would expected to get it on. But you can see the pain that this Fatal Bonds is causing. One cast of that and he's already down, what, a fourth of his HP, might even drop a little bit lower, down to a third now. Yeah, that's just with one cast of Fatal Bonds, and the Warlock with the bottle will have multiple casts of that moving forward. Fluff and stuff gonna smoke up, gonna try to go for Arzart. Lucent Beam setting up for that mini stun. Hellbear moving in for the clap, will not be in range. The Test of Faith will fly. Bane Elemental just gonna survive that, and he is going to pop the salve and return to the lane straight away. So a very, very weird gank attempt by Liquid. Decently set up by TC's mini stun, following up with IX Mike, but again, very, very low level of Impale. He just now hit that level 2 Impale, and level 1 Impale really doesn't last long at all. The 0.5 seconds really does make all the difference. That would have been the death of Arzart if they had that additional 0.5 seconds in order to do that much more damage. and coming from the low ground as well, where they will see you coming. Kind of a odd decision there. Looks like Fluff's thinking about grabbing one of these owls. No? Maybe? Yes? Wild Wings? I don't know. Fluff and stuff, not farming all too quickly, but that's what you gotta do when half of your jungle is warded off. I guess now he could go back, but he doesn't have this camp, he doesn't have this camp, and that's really where the valuable creeps spawn. Those are the most valuable places for the Chen to go to actually grab those creeps. And well, if you can't get them, then what the hell's the point in going down there? You're not going to settle for a alpha wolf or an ogre. That's just not going to happen. Centaurs can spawn in these camps, but you can't really rely on that all the time. You'd rather get the hellbear. You would rather get the trolls or even the wild wings to stack up and then bulldoze a camp with the tornado. So we're going to see a little bit of lane rotation. TC has decided that he's not getting enough farm on that top lane, even though he was getting a little bit. Just having the constant danger of Arzart as well as NS to jump on him, pressure him down. Luna's a weak hero, and she really can't stand up to that kind of pressure for too long. I mean, she did decently on the top lane, but she will definitely get a lot more now that she's on this bottom lane. And also, we see the rotation because Bulba has hit that level 6. So as soon as he did hit that level 6, he has 12 experience to spare. He rotated out. Illidan is going to have the level advantage against this Luna, and Luna, wow, taking a ton of damage from that, just what, level 3 Shukuchi? Yeah, level 3 Shukuchi. So TC going to get farm as well as experience, but he's already behind, so Illidan can, if he plays his cards right, can possibly get a kill on this Luna, especially with KSI teleporting in. Does not have any Sprout. They're actually going to dive this. Bulba is here, no hook shot though. He just will ward them away. KSI gonna get mini send a little bit. Bulba wants to catch him in the cogs. This might be a little bit too over aggressive. He's gonna catch both of them actually. And here comes Fluff and stuff as well. They are gonna bring down the Nature's Prophet. Illidan has nowhere to run. He will get brought down. He's out of mana. He will die. 2TC gonna find himself a double kill on that. Fluff on the run from NS. He should be fine. I think he has a couple of tangos as well as 3 stick charges. At least if you don't go in there. Oh, okay, I guess that works. Kind of a weird choice to teleport out of there. I think he could have just ran south and would have been just fine, but either way, VP are going to bring down Bulba's Clockwork, but such beautiful cogs from the Clockwork. I don't know how the hell he caught 2. It didn't look like that was going to happen, but TC just standing on the outside with level 2 and that Lunar Blessing with the Lucent Beam as well, sniping off 2 kills for himself, bringing him all the way up to the level 6 mark. So now he will have that Eclipse available. And Illidan, I'm sorry, level 7 Weaver, a very, very harsh hero to lose at that point. He used the magic stick, so it was on cooldown. Didn't have the mana for Shukuchi. So really, Liquid getting a little bit of a break there. I mean, usually most of the time you're not going to kill a Weaver without True... Actually, there was True Sight, so I guess Weaver was kind of screwed regardless. Top lane gank, Ix Mike getting gripped up. He will not pop off... I guess he will pop the Spike Carapace, but it looks like it won't really matter. Brain Sap will do him in. Here comes Bulba, hookshot straight into KSI. Does not have any more mana, however, is going to get Nightmared immediately. And Bulba is going to be forced to let this kill get away from him. Can't follow this one anymore. He'll get a little bit more farm out of this lane. But it is Ix Mike on the Nyx Assassin getting jumped by the very, very high level of Arzard. VP, I mean, Arzard is in Navi, he was the hard support. And in VP, he's typically played as the 4 or 5 role. But from what I've seen, VP are more than okay with giving Arzard a lot of experience. We've seen it with VP's running of the Juggernaut on Arzard. He's not really playing that hard support that you would expect, even as the Bane. You would expect Bane to be the hard support, or I guess one of the hard supports in this game, between him and Undying. But he's really getting a lot of experience. VP choosing to kind of sack Illidan's experience. Once again, we did see that when Illidan was the Lifestealer and Arzard was the Juggernaut. Saw something very similar there. But they're really sacrificing a little bit of power on Illidan, giving it, kind of transferring it over to the likes of the Bane. And now NS gonna get netted up. Fluff and Stuff is going to take a lot of damage in return. The Eclipse is gonna be dropped, but a lot of creeps are here to actually tank that up. So Eclipse rather ineffective. KSI gonna jump right in for the Sprout onto Fluff. He will go down, but not before bringing down the Weaver in exchange. Ix Mike gonna get Brain Sapped. Will pop up Spike Carapace. Just barely survive. No, here comes the big Warlock Rock gonna drop right on top of Bulba. The bonds are up, and TC might even die to the bonds. No, everything is actually dead already. NS though gonna look for the kill with one more decay. Will find it on the Luna, and VP are gonna take 4 kills home to feed their kids with, and they're gonna take a tower as well. Gold for everyone. The rotation from Crazy picking up phase boots, getting that fight a little bit quicker is going to be such a devastating force with maxed out bonds as well as that rock right on top of the Clockwork. Now usually the cogs, if you pop them up, you're going to be relatively safe, but not when you're in the same cage as this Warlock Golem. This guy hurts like hell. 6% chance to do an extra 100 damage and 75 damage regular. yeah, that's gonna hurt, and Liquid really don't have a tool to actually get rid of that at this point. If they went for the Brewmaster, they might be able to. Who knows? Who knows? I actually have no idea. I'm sure I'll find out eventually. Don't really care. It's not really high on my list of things to find out, but either way, the Golem, as long as it is up for VP, it will be devastating for Liquid, and that was after having burnt that Eclipse. So Eclipse was relatively unsuccessful in that fight just because of the Nature's Prophet jumping in as well with those treants. The weakness for VP is that the Warlock Golem does have a cooldown of like 6 years, so you could cast it and take a team fight, but if Liquid revive, then they could easily retaliate with a team fight of their own, which, I mean, their cooldowns are definitely not as high. Vendetta, Roar, both very important cooldowns to have, but cooldowns that they don't necessarily need to take a devastating fight. And now we just see Bulba going to get dropped very easily on this bottom lane. KSI going to snipe that kill off with the Wrath of Nature. Easy picks from this Bane, who now is level 8. His gold per minute is 2nd, and his experience per minute is 3rd. This is not where we're used to seeing the experience chart on the Bane. Roar onto Crazy. Ix might get a close in for the Vendetta hit as well as the Impale. This is going to be the death of the Warlock. Beastmaster going to find that kill, and it's going to be a tier 1 tower taken from the Liquid side, but it looks like they might lose the tier 2 on the bottom lane in exchange. Not a trade that they really would like to make, but they really cannot afford to defend this right now. The power of this Bane Elemental at such a high level is something that's really going to keep them back, as well as the fact that Weaver does have his time lapse and Shukuchi is so impossible to kill. Liquid, especially without the Roar, will be unable to really do that. So it is going to be a tier 2 tower taken by VP, and now they're going to actually go for tier 3. A little bit of pressure at least. Bulba's the only one here, and with level 1 Flare, he cannot defend this. So VP, they don't really have to fully commit to this, but hell, even just clearing off this creep wave, putting a little bit of hurt onto the tower, if they could force a TP back from Liquid, then their job is done. But instead, they're going to go full on to this tower. And Liquid, they got to go like right now. Yes, you need the Beastmaster here with the axes. Level 4 axes will be enough to clear this off. And he does have the Roar in 20 seconds as well. They got to deal with this Tombstone. And they will, in fact, do it. TC, once he gets the Glaives, he'll be able to help out as well. But really, he doesn't have that much. He's going to go for a drum. But VP, just very basic pushing, very basic pressuring. Had no intention of taking this tower unless Liquid for some reason didn't teleport back, which would have been silly. But they dropped it down to almost half of its HP with very little commitment. The only thing they used was a Tombstone and a couple of summons of those treants. So VP getting really cost-effective pressure because it's pretty much free pressure. They forced so much gold out from Team Liquid with just that small little push, and would not be surprised to see VP firmly ahead in this game. Not as much as I would have thought, but still golden experience advantage is going to go for the VP side, so they're looking really good to take this game. Liquid, though, possibly going to switch it up just a little bit. They do have a Nyx Assassin scouting out with the smoke as well as a Vendetta. If they could hit Illidan and actually get an Impale on him, that would be the death of the Weaver, but it's going to be really risky. They're instead going to go for Crazy. Will be the easier pick off there. Hookshot in, 3 ultimates used on that hero. There's going to be no chaotic offering this fight. Immediately, the creeps go for that Tombstone, but TC going to get gripped, immediately cancelled by a Centaur Stomp. TC going to stay alive due to the Hand of God. Will continue right-clicking onto NS, who is on the run. Will get a lot of strength, but the Impale will kill him off, and 3 down from VP. It looks like it was the right decision from Team Liquid to invest so many of their ultimates, Vendetta, Roar, as well as the Hookshot, in order to secure that Warlock kill. If the Golem would have dropped onto Team Liquid, I don't know if that would have made the fight go the other way, but I can tell you one thing, it definitely would not have been a clean getaway from Liquid. They would have at least lost an Assassin, would have lost TC also most likely, and that's at least, because if they did drop the Golem, then Arzart would be alive for a little bit longer, NS would be alive for a little bit longer. That means another Brain Sat, that means another Nightmare, that means more decays coming out from the Undying as well. And VP probably would have been able to take that fight. So Liquid investing everything they had to bring down that Warlock, and it turns out to be the correct decision. And once again, the Warlock Golem, it will be available, but by the time the Warlock gets really back and able to fight, the ultimates from Team Liquid should be relatively cooled down as well. Beastmaster's Roar, very short cooldown, at least as far as ultimates go. Nyx Assassin is the same way. Hookshot, rather low cooldown on top of that. They all really have about a little bit more than a minute of cooldown, whereas the Golem has almost 3 minutes of cooldown. So, yeah, it's going to be a very timing-based game for Liquid, as they have to decide when and where they are going to push, because if they push at the wrong time, if they push with their ultimates up and they know that if they don't know that the Warlock ult's up, then it's going to be pain for them. But it looks like for now everyone is going to get away. Oh, crazy. Thinking about casting that Chaotic Offering, the spell was highlighted, but he did cancel it. Probably wasn't sure if it would have canceled the TP from Bulba in time. We do see the Beastmaster getting a lot of gold, actually. 2,400 on him. Not too sure what it's going to be on the Beastmaster. I feel like a pipe would be pretty good. Really, with this much gold, the world is his oyster. He can get whatever he wants right now. Blink Dagger might not be too bad, although I think with Hook Shot you don't really need the Blink Dagger, especially with Vendetta. You don't need the Blink Dagger, at least not first. Mech probably would be the best choice unless Fluff is on his way. Fluff is going to get the Mech, and Tier 1 tower mid lane going to get pressured down to the point of death. The Wild Wing going to send his Tornado up, but it's not really going to do too much. Arzark going to get hit by Net, as well as a Centaur Stomp, slowed down by the Boar, but it is not really going to mean anything. Tower destroyed by the Dire, and Liquid unable to mount a defense with TC up on the top lane getting farm. Really, the defense isn't too necessary because although VP have taken a tier 2 tower, the tower is still relatively even with only one tower in favor of VP. However, VP, they're going to force the issue. They do have the Treants, and well, Liquid, where are their Chen? Oh, Bulba going to get gripped into the cogs, however, going to drop the Golem right on top of his face. He will not be able to escape this. Chen going to try to send him back. Will not happen. Everyone else from Liquid going to fall back. It looks like Korok very weak. He's going to drop as well to the zombies. Very barely. He will die to the Decay. That's 2 down from the Liquid side, and VP dropping their Golem for that fight. Going to take 2 home, and they're also going to take this tower. They might even do the same exact thing and pressure the top lane. Don't know where these creeps came from. I think they were chasing IX Mike. But with the Golem, with the Treants still alive, and with KSI, doesn't have actually any mana. Do they have any Arcane Boots? They do, but not in time. Another 15 seconds is going to be too late. Regardless, it is going to be more free damage onto the tier 3s of Team Liquid. It's not really going to translate into too much for now, but later on it might. KSI going to get netted. Flare's going to fly through as well, but Nightmare is going to keep him safe for just a little bit more. Bulba's going to close the distance, looking for the cogs. Will catch onto the Golem, as well as KSI will be the death of that hero. Fatal Bonds are up on all the Liquid heroes, however. They're going to take a lot of damage if they continue to fight, but it looks like they are, in fact, going to fall back. VP losing 1, but again, bringing this tower down to half HP. Not really committing anything for that push. I mean, everything that they have already committed was used in order to get kills, which is pretty much ideal. And Beastmaster are going to go for the Oblivion Staff. Now, Oblivion Staff builds into, I believe, only 2 items, Orchid and Refresher. Trying to think of something else that it builds into, but I don't think it does. I think at one point it used to build into the Sheep Stick. I might be completely wrong about that. I don't know. But I guess a Orchid might not be a bad choice from the Beastmaster at all. Get rid of the Bane's everything. Get rid of the Bane's everything. Shut down the Warlock just by silencing him. Or even kill off the Weaver. A Weaver that can't cast spells is a sad Weaver who will lose all of his mobility and survivability in the fights. And might not be a bad choice. Refresher probably not going to be it, although his mana pool is pretty high. Having that extra, 300 mana cost with that Refresher, and then another 150, 175 with the Roar. It's a lot of mana for Liquid to expend, and looks like for now they're just going to be content with smoking up. They do have the Roar, they do have the Hook Shot, so what more can you want for a push? With the Hawk to spot everything out, VP, they are completely aware of it. They did not see the smoke, but Liquid might actually just use the smoke to get into the Roshan pit. They do have the Lunar Blessing at level 2. TC actually prioritizing the split push with the Moonglaives a little bit higher than the straight up damage of the Lunar Blessing. But with the Buckler here to give them that additional armor, they should be able to take down Roshan. And VP, right now they're way too far away, and even if they were to go, they would not have the goal. And they're going to send in the... I think this is a tell. I think that's a tell. Yeah, they're going to send in the Treants. So they will confirm that Liquid is going to take the Aegis. But, as I said before, it is way too late even if they did decide to go for it. They are going to take a tier 1 tower in exchange. So I think VP are going to be okay with that trade, at least for now. Hell, even if TC has the Aegis of the Immortal, he's very, very easy to bring down. He is going for a Manta style, it looks like. So it's going to be full-on delay split push from the Liquid side instead of stick your ground and fight. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense. All the disables from VP will go through the BKB regardless, so BKB probably not the best choice for the Luna. Instead, going to just try to split out of some of the danger. Axe is going to fly, but it's going to be a tier 1 tower. And does the Warlock have his ult? Yes, he does. Still only level 1 ultimate, but still that is more than enough to bring down a couple of towers and a couple of heroes in the process. And they're just going to keep this gravy train rolling. Liquid they can't afford to really let VP have this many towers, because the gold advantage, experience advantage will continue to bend their way if they give up this many towers. Experience is favoring Liquid after these fights, after the Roshan. Arzar can move straight forward for Fiends to go back to Korok. There's the rock being dropped onto 3. Ix Mike taking a huge amount of damage, but the mech is there. The Eclipse is there. TC, though, trapped in the Sprout, does have the Aegis, so he is going to be forced to burn it straight away. And everyone else from Liquid a little bit too far away. They can re-engage with the hookshot. Warrior going to get out of there just barely as well. TC got to run, but the Nightmare not going to make that happen. Bulba going to latch in for KSI just to hold him out for a little bit more. Warlock is going to kill off the Nyx, and Roar onto Illidan will be enough to bring him down. The heal from the Undying will keep him alive, as well as that Shadow Word. Now everyone from Liquid, they got to fall back. The Warlock Golem will die to the tower. Another Lucent Beam onto Ars Arp. They still haven't taken the tier 2, actually. I thought they already taken care of that. But NS on the run still has so much strength because of that decay. Teleportation coming in. It is going to be Chen just looking for a nuke on someone. Will kill off NS, it looks like. Just needs a couple more hits. The Shadow Word, though, as well as the decay, will delay the death for a little bit. Not in time, though. KSI now on the run. Gonna try to force staff himself north, but the Battery Assault will delay that TP, and KSI gonna drop. VP, though, taking 2 towers, did take a couple kills home as well. I think it was relatively even on the kill score. So, yeah, Liquid losing all their tier 2 towers now, so their tier 3s are vulnerable. If VP could just keep on dropping their Warlock ultimate for a kill or 2 that last time, killing off Ix Mike, doing a lot of hurt to TC, who did not die in that fight, I don't think. I don't think he died. I think he managed to slip away just barely with Bulba kind of being the hero, just latching into the Nature's Prophet to slow down some of the damage potential from him. Liquid gonna look to try to make a trade because they know that this is the best timing. They have to endure the brunt of the assault from the Warlock Golem ultimate. Once they get past that, they will be able to make pushes happen because they will have the Roar available. Although VP, at this point, I think they're a little bit too strong to make it so that Liquid can easily get in and snipe the towers, although Liquid, they're going to try for a fight anyway. Again, Hand of God is the only ultimate that they don't have. They could look for a hook shot in. They land onto Illidan. That's going to be pain, but it's going to be Arzart instead. Will be hit by Vendetta as well. Arzart down in an instant. TC on the run. Does have his drum charge. He will get slowed. He will have some support from Korok roaring down Illidan. He will time-lapse all the way, all that damage, and the upheaval has been dropped. Bulba stuck in the Sprout as well. Looks like Bulba, as well as TC, actually, both going to be the ones to fall. Bulba going to get sent back to the base by Chen, actually. Chen, Beastmaster going to teleport out. Ix Mike going to try to get himself out. Will not make it happen. Now Fluff and Stuff, the only one to survive. He will not last for very long either. The Sprout can hold him off. And Liquid don't take the tier 2 tower, only pick up Arzart in that exchange. And they're going to lose 3 heroes as well. VP looking so strong to take the set. Warlock even rushed the Aghanim Scepter, has now hit the level 11 mark. So in 9 seconds, this is going to be so much pain. Liquid's Raxes are now in danger, and at least in 5 seconds they'll be in danger. The Aegis really didn't help Liquid that much. It didn't really help him at all. And VP, with the pushing potential of Warlock and KSI both, they will be able to push Raxes, or at least push the high ground, take a couple tier 3 towers. Even though for VP, the Weaver isn't really strong right now, he doesn't need to be strong. They don't have enough lockdown to kill Korok right now, though I think they're going to try. They're actually going to get Sprout. Korok ready to use the Axes. This is going to be a dead Korok right here. They can't afford Liquid to lose these heroes. It just will not work for them. And with the gem up on Warlock, VP are going to get supreme map control in this game. And they have the Chaotic Offering, they have the Treants, and they know that the tier 1 mid tower is... Wow, what happened here? I don't know what happened. It was at 800 HP before. Tower apparently falling apart. Someone has got to get a peasant over there and repair it. But VP are going to push straight in. And Liquid, they need a team fight. It's really their only option right now. Otherwise, they're just going to get bowled over. And by team fight, I mean snipe crazy. You need to snipe this hero. He will provide Tree Sight, which isn't going to matter too much for Vendetta, but he will drop golems on your ass. And if you could kill him before he drops that, then that's great. But look at all this stuff in the front lines. The Tornado's going to thin it out a little bit, will help out. Fortification as well. Ix Mike going to do some suicide impales. But they, VP side, brought the tower down another 300, 400 HP, and they invested nothing for it. They'll be able to continue to spam this out with the Nature's Call. They have all the time in the world. This tier 3 tower is as good as dead unless Liquid can find a team fight. And the team fight is not going to happen right here for Liquid, because if you put the Warlock right square in the middle, it's impossible to hit him with the hook shot. And if you can't hit him with the hook shot, you're not going to get the initiation off. So this hero really has to stay alive for VP. If he gets picked off, it's going to be disaster for them. They will actually probably have to fall back. I think they could take a fight without the Warlock Golems, but it will be a lot more difficult. And Liquid, they know that they really can't take a fight outside their base, and they are going to have to rely on Bulba's hookshot to get in. But you can see this positioning from Crazy, making sure that NS is in front of him at all times, making sure that he's behind the creep wave. Really the only viable angle to hit him from right now is if the Falker was down here. But Crazy, as long as he has this buffer of 2 waves of trees in the front, oh, Bulba gonna get gripped up, and is there anything to rescue him? The Warlock Golems are going to fall. Ice Mike taking a huge chunk of damage right off the bat. The Golems are loose in the Liquid base, and the tower has been brought down. The Golems now, one getting trapped actually just a little bit. They will be able to bring one down, it looks like, but the Raxes are in trouble of dropping. Ice Mike at a close distance for a Vendetta hit onto Illidan. The mech is going to come up, and the Warlock Golem still banging away on those Raxes. The Raxes are going to fall. Nyx Assassin has died as well. Axe is going to fly, but this is going to be a complete Raxing onto the Liquid side. VP, such surgical precision with these pushes. The 2 Golems doing so much damage. Bulba looking for a hookshot, trying to take a team fight, will latch in onto Arzep, but will not catch him with the cogs. Will hit him twice with the cogs, as well as Crazy once. Illidan can take a little bit of damage from that, but he will time-lapse all that out. Roar now onto Crazy, no longer a high priority target, but they should be able to bring him down nonetheless. The Eclipse going to be used. This is going to be a very dead Warlock, and now Liquid have an opportunity to take a couple tier 2 towers. They have lost Raxes already, but fortunately for them, TC is a high enough level to max out Moonglaive. Still doesn't have too much damage. It's still going to go hunting for Arzart. We'll be able to bring him down, and Rocket Flare will snipe off the Bane. So 2 down for VP. Liquid will be able to take 2 tier 2s, I feel. If they go in for this mid one, slide up to the top lane, we'll be able to take that as well. High ground, probably not on the table, although, I mean, they don't have Hand of God, they don't have Eclipse. They will have Hookshot, Roar, and Vendetta shortly, at least very, very shortly. So they'll be able to take at least this tier 2 tower, but they lost Raxes. They are now so far behind in VP. They're going to prep this to do the exact same thing on the bottom lane. It is honestly not looking good for Liquid at all. The gold experience advantage, although experience somehow still with Liquid, they're going to slowly get further and further behind because of the fact that they are a Rax behind. They're going to be getting less gold because of that. And now going to be a tier 2 tower up top for Liquid possibly, although it looks like VP are going to be able to mount a solid defense. So yeah, VP, they lose a tier 2 tower, but in exchange for Axes, take that trade any day of the week. Any day of the week. And really the only saving grace for Liquid right now is the fact that the Weaver only has a Lincoln Sphere. I guess if he had a Radiance or something, then Liquid would be in real trouble. But Weaver, I mean, he's going to be able to block. Ideally for Liquid, they would want to burn it by using Lucent Beam or Mana Burn. Those are 2 spells that they would like to throw at that here. Oh, Korok, Axes, Axes, Axes. Throw it, throw it, throw it, run! Cut the trees down. Timber saw that. But yeah, the Weaver is still not doing too much damage. A lot of the VP threat is coming from the Tombstone, it's coming from the Treants, it's coming from the Warlock Golem. So they're relying very heavily on their summons to get this done. That eventually won't really be as effective because TC will be able to clear a lot of that out with his glaives. But TC at this point, not strong enough to actually do that. VP will eventually need to lean on this Weaver just a little bit harder, but he will still have a little more time to get that going in. Yeah, with the Lincoln Sphere, it's a good start. We'll keep him safe from the Roar, and I don't think it will keep him safe from the Hookshot, though. That could be problematic for him, but still, Crazy is the highest objective for Liquid to kill. And now, as I said before, VP going to push straight into the bottom lane. Some of the Treants will have 2 stacks as well as Necrobooks. Yeah, they're going full onto this push. And if history is any indicator, wow, even a Sentry already killed off that bird. I'm not too sure if that was... Did they know that bird was there? They must have. I guess they're going to protect themselves from Nyx Assassin as well, but... Yeah, they know... Oh, no, we saw this episode before. Bulba immediately going to get sent back to the base. No Fiend script this time for you, Arzart. Wow. I'm like, we knew what happened last time this happened, and it was not a good situation for Liquid at all. Tombstone gonna drop. There's the Fiend's Grip as well as the Rock. Ice Mike dead in an instant. TC's got to run. He's very low. Hand of God, Mechanism, Stick Charges will keep him alive. And Bulba gonna catch one, but he's gonna get 4-staffed out. KSI is gonna be completely safe. Bulba with the Blade Mail, not gonna be doing much at all. Ice Mike looking for a Vendetta Initiation. Gonna find a 2-man Impale, but he's gonna trade his bot back life for it. Send the Chen creeps up to the front lines, but it's a little bit too late. The Raxes have already, the tier 3 tower has already dropped. Now the Raxes are in danger. And Liquid, what do they have? They don't have anything anymore. They have an Eclipse, but Luna way too weak. Bulba with the Cogs, probably their best tool, but he's getting bursted down so damn quickly. Getting sent back to base by Chen. Will stick the landing, and he's gonna get out of there alive. Roar as well as a stun onto KSI, and the Rax is in a little bit of danger, but the Eclipse is here. The creep wave is dead. NS gonna die to one more glaive, and the Raxes survive at 250 HP. Korok still giving chase, will not be able to find anyone, doesn't have a disable to do so, although might find KSI. Chen is right behind him. If they could get a... Do they have a roar? No, they don't. I don't think they can get him. They're just waiting for KSI to stop moving and try to teleport out. Oh, there it is. Silence him. Silence him. There you go. Now they can kill him. Hookshot him from Bulba. KSI is going to go down as well. And Liquid somehow, some way, hold the Raxes. I don't know how they did it. They just had enough time for the Luna to, you know, just bounce around those glaives, kill off everything, throw out the axes a couple times, and then once that happens, then the Eclipse is going to come down. But if that doesn't happen, the Eclipse isn't going to do much of anything. There's so much stuff on the VP side just buffering the heroes from that Eclipse. Liquid going to do what they can, try to get as much as they can from that pick-off on the Nature's Prophet, but they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. The Swarm is going to fly straight in, latch onto everyone Liquid, and they have to fall back like right now. Missiles are going to fly, Illidan's going to go onto the front lines, and wow, the upheaval going to make it so difficult for Liquid to fight right now. BKB's up on the Undying, Roar's going to happen onto Arzad, cancel off his ultimate being channeled, but TC still holding his ground, is going to drop awful low. Where's the Hand of God? Where's the mech? TC looks like... What? What? Korok, what have you done? What? What? Korok. Oh, you. I don't know, Korok. I don't know. I know that VP, they're a Russian team. I know that Liquid are, I think Korok might be Canadian, but the rest are from US. What? That was... What? I don't... I am speechless right now. Everyone's coming back. That just saved Liquid. Liquid were screwed. That was the game. What? I have... Valve, get your shit together. I gotta say, VP had that fight. You had to die all. Exactly. Upheaval was right here. That was disaster for Liquid. They were just about to lose the Luna. And Luna does have buyback, I guess, so it wouldn't be too bad, but still, it's a lot of gold out of her pocket. But that was looking awfully bad for Liquid. Even without the Chaotic Offering, having an Undying Upheaval, a Warlock Upheaval right in this area, that is the worst possible situation to be in. But Liquid, they get a get out of jail free card. Luna gets out of there with less than 100 HP. Hold on, I gotta back this up. What happened there? I gotta see just like what happened in that fight. I really want to know 100% if Liquid were going to die. Don't look at the clock. Okay, here we go. This is going to be bad. Swarm spawning out everyone. Illidan's going to do as much damage as he can with Shukuchi. Going to be forced to time-lapse out. But the upheaval is up. I don't know how the Undying found enough gold for BKB, but he's going to 3-man decay. Bulba going to get gripped, but Roar immediately will follow through. Mech is already there. TC going to drop awfully low. Cluckle's doing something with items somewhere in that fight. Yeah, but the upheaval is still alive. Chen creeps in the back, fighting off Roshan. Where's the Weaver, actually? Weaver's in the back, KSI's in the back as well, working down TC. TC's as good as dead. Ix Mike will soon to follow. And as soon as this happens, that's it. Liquid are screwed. Bulba, Ix Mike, and TC, we're all dead. I don't even. I have no idea. Wait, I skipped ahead too much. Okay, it looks like this is about right, yes. Liquid, that was as lucky as things come. Like, generally, when you're really far behind, you're like, okay, we're going to lose unless the entire team has, like, a simultaneous brain aneurysm / heart attack. But that's exactly what happened right there. Liquid just got a get-out-of-jail-free card, and they used it. And I feel horrible for VP. That was their fight to take. They had another 3 kills in the bag. The upheaval was still being channeled, so they couldn't really get out of there. TC was dropping so very weak. I mean, if Liquid were going to be super well mannered, they would sacrifice the Luna, because she should not have gotten out of there. She was dead. 100% dead. But this is, again, not exactly a situation where you could afford to be super good mannered because you're kind of at the grand finals on the line. So yeah, yeah. In the meantime, the tier 4s were in trouble, and wow, that LAN. We want LAN. We want LAN. Blizzard, please give us LAN. It looks like Liquid are gonna give up Roshan to VP, although really they can't afford to contest it any longer. Wow, that is... I never thought I would see the day. The only thing I could compare that to was, I don't remember if it was OSL or MSL finals. It was, I believe, Flash vs Jaedong, and it was the grand finals, StarCraft Brood War, and the power went out, and then they had to call it for, I think they called it for Jaedong just because he was a little bit too far, a little bit further ahead. That's the only thing I can compare that to, but I guess that is a lot worse than this, since that's like the finals of Brood War in Korea. That means the world to them. Not to say that this tournament isn't important for these two teams, but shit, that was the only thing where I've seen that much of a problem being caused by just like circumstances out of the player's control. And VP, they are still ahead. The experience advantage isn't in their favor any longer. But they have BKBs on everyone somehow. I don't know how NS managed to buy this one up. I feel like they have a mech. They already do have a mech. I feel like a Necrobook probably would have been a better choice to have more stuff on the front lines. Would have been easier to take these Raxes down. But yeah, VP, they definitely do still have, despite the fact that they have broken the game just a little bit, they have a lot of momentum still in this game. They do still have the double Chaotic Offering, and Warlock with a lot of gold will probably head on towards a Refresh Orb to get 4 golems from mass marauding around the Liquid base. So now they're going to push in. The Raxes are down, the melee Rax at least, down to half HP right now. And VP, they're going to push in. These Raxes are not long for life. Again, the Clockwork needs to have his hookshot, and you can see already on the front lines. And he's going to try to get an angle onto Crazy. A single point in sight, and he's going to throw that hookshot. If they could bring down the Warlock, that could be the fight for Liquid. And Crazy, very, very vulnerable right now. Do they see him? They don't. Bulba is going to be forced to fall back. Now the Raxes are in danger. Swarm going to fly out. Fluff going to send his stuff to the front lines. Fortification is up as well. TC needs to get that right-click damage up. Bulba onto the front lines. Hookshot in. Going to land KSI. He's going to latch onto Crazy, and he's going to get silenced as well. There's going to be no Warlock Golems this fight, and the Luna Glaives bouncing through everyone. Bulba's going to secure the kill onto the Warlock, and that's going to be disaster for VP. Everyone's going to fall down now. NS on the run. Axe is going to fly, but they're instead going to settle for this revived Weaver. Impale immediately as soon as he revived, and Fluff gets a double kill. Raxes are alive, and Liquid survive once more to fight. Bulba still on the chase. I don't know if he's going to catch up. 370 versus 370. You're not going to catch up to this Bulba. Unless he's actually catching up to this. NS got a little bit blocked, and NS is slowly starting to lose strength. Run! Oh, he's going to lose so much health from this. No! NS, run! NS, no! Run! Hobble away faster! Bulba just needs 3 seconds, and this Undying is dead. He's going to steal a little more strength, heal himself up a little bit. Cogs. Flare is going to do it. And in the end, it's a complete team wipe going the way of Liquid. Wow. I gotta say, that was... Again, Bulba got the hookshot in. Hookshot immediately giving vision for Korok to silence that Orchid, really, really pulling its weight, shutting down the Warlock Golems. If those dropped, that would have been Rax's, probably even game for VP. But Liquid, for right now, they get another get out of jail free card. That one wasn't as get out of jail free. It's like get out of jail, it's expensive. You gotta pay for that shit. But still, they do manage to survive at least for a little bit longer. Now they're looking for hookshot in onto Arzart. They do have a lot of creeps in the way. Bulba looking for the angle, will not find it. They're gonna instead settle for the tier 2 tower. Mid lane has been pushed out a lot by TC's Glaives. And Blade Mails, ahoy, what the hell? Team Blade Mail, Nick Assassin. I know you have Spike Carapace, man, but you're going to have to get your shit together and follow what the team's doing. Teleportation from NS, going to come right into the front lines. And they will try to fight this off, but got to watch out for that Blade Mail. If they all pop off before the Chaotic Offering is dropped, that's going to be Crazy, dead in an instant. IX Mike going to take a little bit of damage right from the get-go. Hookshot in. They're going to bring down NS really quickly. Arzart going to get interrupted with that ultimate by the Troll Net. Eclipse now going to get dropped. Down the Weaver in an instant. Down the Warlock as well. No Warlock Golems again from Liquid. KSI on the run will get 4 stacked out. Should be fine as well. NS hiding. I think Liquid have forgotten about him. Actually, Clockwork picking off NS from long range with the hookshot. With the flare, I'm sorry. Tier 2 tower getting your drop, but here come the Golems. Where's the Blade Mail? Everyone pop the Blade Mail, kill off the... But the TC is not going to pop off the Blade Mail. I don't know why. Fluff and Stuff on the run. He has a Blade Mail also. Just pop it, man. I mean, what do you expect to do right here? You have Blade Mail. Why you know Blade Mail? That they just needed to pop the Blade Mail. They wouldn't have gotten a kill, but it would have at least punished VP. And it's not like Blade Mail has a huge cooldown. It's a 22-second cooldown. You're gonna die. So you have 50 seconds to think about why you didn't use that Blade Mail. I don't know. VP took a couple of kills for free, and this game is by far the weirdest game I've ever casted, and not for good reasons either. EXP per minute, gold per minute. I wouldn't be surprised to see Liquid starting to favor. Yeah, huge EXP lead. Gold lead starting to close in for VP. They do still have the mid lane Raxes, but they need to get a good fight. And unfortunately for them, they used their Warlock Golems, and they were unable to get a push off of that. Fortunately for them, Warlock is closing in onto that level 16 mark, so they will have Golems that do a little bit more damage, are a lot tankier, and will be able to do that much more in the fights. But still, Illidan does not have the damage just yet. Is going to work towards the 2400 he needs to pick up that Demon Edge. Once he has that, Liquid are going to crumble a lot more, but with all the Blade Mails, it's going to be really difficult for VP. I guess Arzart as well as NS being, for some reason, the only two supports are the ones with BKBs. I don't know how that happened. It just did. But they'll be the only ones not really concerned about the Blade Mail. Whereas the Weaver, if he sees a Blade Mail come up, he's going to be forced to book it out of there. And fortunately for Weaver, that's what he's good at doing. That's what Weaver does best. He is good at running. That is what the Weaver is designed to do, and hey, he's good at it. Usain Bolt, eat your heart out. But yeah, Luna going to go for an incredibly defensive build. She knows that really she's got to just survive the brunt of the summons from VP. Once that happens, if she's still alive, then the lifesteal is going to pull her up back to full HP. And the Glaives is really what's going to be doing the business for the VP side. Liquid possibly going to look for a set of Raxes of their own, but they only have 35 seconds. Crazy's ultimate will be up by then. They do have all their ultimates, Team Liquid, or all the important ones at least. Actually, they have all of their ultimates. There you go. And they're going to be slowed down just a little bit by KSI in this bottom lane. Really, you wouldn't expect this game to go like this after such a devastating push onto the mid lane. Liquid should be, for all intents and purposes, down and out. And they're not. They're technically ahead. Rax is down, no Rax is down. TC doesn't really care. He's a level 19 Luna with a double damage rune. Yeah, goodbye lanes. Creeps, beware. There's a very dangerous Luna wandering about these parts of the woods. So yeah, Liquid getting a little bit of a break there due to Valve. And I gotta say, it's not looking that good for VP anymore. They still could take it if they get a good Warlock drop. And with the BKB up on Warlock, that means Orchid is no longer a good way of dealing with this Warlock. He will now, unless he gets roared, get the Golems down 100% of the time. But at this point, there's just Blade Mails everywhere. Everyone has Blade Mail. Look at that. IX Mike even picking up a Blade Mail. Mass Blade Mail from the Liquid side. That means Undying's going to take a lot of damage. That means the Natured Prophet ultimate is going to kill the Natured Prophet. And that means the Golems are going to return so much damage to that Warlock. Cog's going to slow down the push for just a little bit more because Rax is now in danger. Where's the Warlock? Right behind KSI, but we saw what happened last time. Bulba, if he can get in there, that could be the death of the Warlock once again, or at least hold him out from getting a good stun off. Tornadoes onto the front lines. This creep is confused. And Treants, oh no, that's not where we want to summon the Treants. That's going to be 4 down, 5 down, all of them down. Except for this guy. He's also confused.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Top tower being pushed a little bit, not going to concern VP too much. It is a little bit of farm for Illidan if he wants to go and leave that, but the Raxes are still the thing that VP wants. The Tornadoes, though, being so annoying. It doesn't do that much damage, but I mean, it does a lot of damage if you sit in it. But it looks like they're going to fall back. They have their ultimates. They want to fight. And they have 3k of gold Warlock spent. Is that a Necro book for Warlock? No, you bought a BKB, of course. And he's the only one smoked up still on VP. Well, actually, that's a new smoke. What the hell? Warlock going to be personally smoked. He knows that his spells are important. Impale onto NS, and IX Mike just gets yanked back to the base. Arzart popping the BKB a little bit prematurely, looking for a Venus Grip, will not find it. No BKB for the Bane, and now Luna going to clear off the creep wave very, very quickly. We'll have to worry about this Necronomicon Warrior. It will pop and do a lot of damage, but the Tornadoes once again going to fly. Warlock Golems going to be dropped straight onto TC, but TC only instantly going to split out of that. Where the Blade Mail is going to come up. Bulba on the front lines will pop off the Blade Mail. No one can focus him anymore, but the Raxes are fortified. They will, in fact, die in the end, but the Glaives doing so much damage to the VP side. Liquid have already lost -1. Now NS is on the run. The Luna Glaives are bouncing every which way, but VP, they got exactly what they came for. They wanted the Raxes, they got the Raxes, and Upheaval will slow everyone down. Liquid are going to try to chase, but they will be unable to do so. Another set of Raxes, or another melee Rax, going the way of VP, so now what they can do is slow siege up the top lane. They're still chasing this one, Liquid. I don't know what they are actually planning on accomplishing. Bulba has a hook shot, but TC's kind of in the way. The hook shot's range is large, but I'm not sure if it's that large. We'll find Crazy, though. Teleport out. There shall be no teleportations today. Liquid lose a melee Rax. Could be a lot worse, though. The Warlock Golems, that fight, I mean, Crazy was itching to get rid of them. He knew that if he gets silenced and if he didn't drop them, it would have been a disaster. He dropped them onto TC, but that's definitely not the target you want to do it on. You want to drop it on it. I mean, it's good to drop them on TC. It's probably the best to drop it on TC, but you don't want to drop it on only TC. As dangerous as that Luna is, she's tanky enough to withstand a couple hits from those golems because of her 30 armor. And it's soon to be a little bit more with Satanic. Actually, does it give you more armor? I don't think it does. It gives you a lot more health. It doesn't give you more armor. Okay. But TC's going to be able to eat those spells up day and night. And now Roshan going to be attempted once again by... Oh, hook shot in. Where did... Derped up the hook shot. Okay. But Roshan is going to be attempted. It is a cheese Roshan, and TC prepping for probably the Aegis. Korok probably going to get the cheese, but VP going to summon the Tombstone up on the high ground. TC will be able to kill the zombies off with the glaives. No big deal there. Roshan slowly getting brought down. He does have the Satanic, and the Hawk is now up and flying about. The glaives now going to bounce up to the high ground. Roshan dropped. Luna going to get the Aegis. We're on to KSI. Can they bring him down? Upheaval again is channeled. Bulba looking for a hookshot. Will not be able to find. Doesn't force that, but he's going to get stuck in the cage with Illidan. Arzard going to burn the rest of his ultimate onto someone, but it didn't really do that much because everyone's still alive on Liquid. Bulba going to kill off one, and it's so far 3 down for VP. KSI is going to buy straight back into the game, but Aegis is up on the Luna. Where's the cheese? Is there cheese? Cheese might have been jacked. Cheese is gone for some reason. But Liquid are going to try now for the mid lane. They do have the Aegis as well as the Satanic on Luna, so essentially she has three HP pools worth of lives right now. And looks like it's going to be Liquid taking it slow for just a little bit. KSI with that split push, really forcing Liquid's hand a little bit. And VP, that time not taking the best fight. Warlock Golems, though, were saved, and Warlock is almost at that level 16 mark. But at this point, it's like, are the Warlock Golems actually going to do that much? Because last time, or like the mid lane fights, the Warlock Golems were dropped, and then like one hit each onto Ix Mike, and he was already dead. But with the Spike Carapace, with the Blade Mail on everyone, mind you, it's going to be dangerous for VP to even consider dropping any of their spells. If you put Fatal Bonds into all the Liquid heroes, normally that'll be like pretty much GG. You can mop them from that point. But Fatal Bonds on all the Liquid heroes, returned by Blade Mail, yeah, Warlock's not going to last too long. Liquid probably not going to last too long after the Blade Mails are down, but still, it's going to be a lot of hurt for the Warlock, who's in one way or another going to get killed by the Liquid side, either actively or passively by Liquid. So, now this game has hit the 42-minute mark. Let's take a look at some of the items. Of course, we see Team Blade Mail on the Radiant. Mech is up on Fluff. We'll look towards a Vit booster. Probably just casual, I guess, a Rod of Atos, possibly. Korok, Aghanim Scepter, has had that one for a while, looking like a butterfly onto TC. Will help him clear off the creep waves a lot, and Illidan, still without the MKB, he has no farm at all. My god. All the farm is going into KSI, and Crazy, and hell, even like the support's having more. Take a look at the gold per minute. Weavers, that's not where you want your Weaver to be. VP, whereas normally they would have the late game insurance of a stacked Weaver, they don't have that. Everyone else has a lot of gold, except for the Weaver. And that means they have to rely on the summons, once again, which isn't exactly bad. They are going to get the level 16 on the Warlock very shortly. But Liquid are scaling into this late game because of this stacked Luna. And if it comes right down to it, Luna versus Weaver, the Weaver isn't going to stand a chance. Not a single chance. So VP, what they have to do right now is split push and team fight. And hopefully with a good Bonds, with a good Chaotic Offering, with a good Tombstone, they will be able to take a team fight away from Team Liquid. But that's a lot of things that have to go correctly, whereas Liquid, they just have to make sure that TC doesn't die. And with Satanic, with an Aegis, and with no real disable outside of the Warlock Golems as well as the Bane, TC's not going to die. He has the Aegis, so even if he does get gripped, he's going to come back. Even if he does have the Warlock Golems dropped onto him and dies from that somehow, he's going to survive because of the Satanic. VP don't have enough damage to actually chain stun down and kill TC unless they focus literally everything they have on him. And even then, he has an Aegis. So now Liquid, they're pissed and they want mid-Raxes. Let's see if they can make this one happen. They're all forming up to go for this push, although it looks like they're going to wait for Observer Wards. And Korok is Boots of Travel? Yeah, Boots of Travel. He's going to jump right back into this fight. Just a little bit. TC on the front lines. Manta Style Illusion's going to pop, and this tower going to get slowly brought down. Enfeeble onto one of them, so this Illusion's pretty much doing nothing, but a little bit of bounce damage onto the entirety of VP. KSI doing his job on the top lane. He has the teleport up and available, so he'll be able to push that one out, force someone from Liquid back already. Korok is back here to defend, but again, he has the Boots of Travel, so he'll be able to jump right back in, much like how KSI is playing right now, except it's on the Liquid side. TC, he's shredding down creep wave after creep wave, and Bulba is going to be looking for an angle now. He could jump in onto Crazy. That could be the death of them, but everyone's smoked up, so everyone except for Illidan, I guess. And Liquid, I mean, Korok's doing a great job to keep these lanes in control with the level 4 aura on him, using the Boar for a little bit of extra damage, as well as those level 4 axes clearing off the creep waves. He'll be able to manage all the lanes of Liquid, at least decently, unless KSI runs into him, in which case Korok might be in a little trouble. But KSI isn't really geared up for a carry Natured Prophet. I feel like he went, well, he definitely went a lot into push, which isn't a bad thing in and of itself. But in this situation, he's going to be wishing that he went for a Shadowblade, Desolator, Daedalus. Because VP, they don't have any damage. The Weaver, who's supposed to be doing the damage, does not have it, is so far away from it. And TC even has a Butterfly right now, and there's no response from VP. Aside from Burst, let's take a look at the Aegis timer. Aegis will be run up in 30 seconds, so TC, I think it's about time for you to go and suicide yourself to these, to the VP heroes. Fortification will pop off, and Korok is still tending to the base. Will be fine to do so. TC, he knows that the Aegis are running out. He will take down the tower. Denial attempt. And now the buildings are all in trouble. Save the buildings. Oh no, save the Raxes. TC slowly running out of that Aegis timer. It's going to be reclaimed very shortly. Looks like he will not be burning it this time. He will do a lot of damage to the VP side, clearing off the buildings, but he needs to just focus these Raxes. TC, watch this. Eyes on the Aegis, guys. Eyes on the Aegis. There it is, being reclaimed, and immediately gets Fiend's Grip. Warlock Golems as well. TC going to try to get sent back to the base. He will just barely make it out alive. Oh my god, Chen with the mech, with the Satanic heal from the Luna. Warlock is going to clean up. IX Mike and VP are going to hold their Raxes. That was clutch. Luna would not have buyback if she died. Oh my god. That was unfortunate on so many levels. VP, they knew the timer as well. They had the timer. They knew that Luna was going to lose that Aegis, and as soon as it disappeared, immediately Arzar jumped onto Luna with that Fiend's Grip. And just a little bit too much healing from Liquid. Luna got like 2 hits with the Satanic, which lifesteal is a lot. That's a lot of lifesteal. Mech, Hand of God, everything being burned to keep that Luna alive. And they did get her out alive. Wow. That was some play there by Liquid. They didn't manage to take the Raxes, but they keep Luna alive, and, well, they give up a gem to VP. I mean, guys, there's a gem right there. I wonder if they could hear me. Probably not. But Liquid still alive in this game, still kicking. VP, though, they need to gear up for a fight. Crazy did drop the Golems for that one, but they didn't manage to get anything, so it's going to be another 90 seconds where the Warlock is out of commission. I don't even think a BKB was worth it for Warlock. It'll save him from the Eclipse, definitely, but that's pretty much it. He needed a Refresher Orb. If he had those additional summons, although TC would have shredded through them relatively quickly, that extra stun would have been so useful. BKB is not going to help you against the Liquid side, and I'm not sure why he purchased it up. It's not like the Warlock needs to channel. I guess he has to channel Upheaval, but that's not the most important skill for him to drop. It's the Chaotic Offering that needs to drop. And although it's really easy for him to drop, it's important that he gets it twice, especially with the Aghanim Scepter. That's the combo. Aghanim Scepter, Refresher Orb. And now they're all going to be forced back. Tier 4 towers are in danger. TC on the front lines, absolutely fearless. Will not have the Aegis this time, although he didn't seem to be okay with it looking at last time. TC will take down one tier 4. Another tier 4 is on the way down, but KSI, they're working on the racks. Illidan gonna get warded up. Net as well. Ix Mike with the Impale. They are gonna bring down the Weaver, instantly buying back. TC gonna run straight into the middle of everything with Blade Mail active as well as the Eclipse. Not too much damage there. Now there's the Fiend's Grip on TC. Hookshot in. Will cancel off something, but Arzar still gonna get the full duration of the Fiend's Grip, though TC doesn't care. Doesn't even have the Satanic used yet. And KSI is back in the space, but the GG is about to be called. The Aegis gonna drop low. Crazy almost dying to the glaive bounces. Everyone from Liquid is alive. Bulba throwing hookshot after hookshot with that Aghanim Scepter. He will force everyone back from VP. The glaives are bouncing, and VP, Liquid snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. And I don't want to say, well, I don't want to say that Liquid didn't do a good job. That was a very, very good game from Liquid. They took many fights, and it was really, really effective for them. But I gotta say, VP, they had this game. They had this game until everyone DC'd. That would have been 3 additional heroes from Liquid dead. They could have made a push further into the base, and the Warlock Golems would have been up by then. Really, really difficult to tell what would have happened, but either way, Liquid are going to be moving on to the Grand Finals to face off against Alliance. VP, I feel, should have had this game if not for that DC. But either way, we're moving on, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this commentary, then like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't, then let me know why. Other than that, we'll be moving on to the Grand Finals, where we will finally close out this tournament. And then I think it's about time for some TI3 qualifiers. What do you say, guys? Thanks for watching. GG.
GG!